All right, Mr. Thompson's here. Give you my big old Academy Award winning presentation on factoring trinomials when the coefficient in front of the x squared term is 1. Here's the deal. We're going to get into stuff in class, factoring trinomials when the coefficient is not 1. That's a little bit more complex. Okay? But what we're really doing is reversing the FOIL process. So if you think about the FOIL process, when we have two binomials in parentheses multiplied to each other, what times what gives you x squared? X. That's why these problems are kind of nice and slick, because when we have a trinomial, the only way you're getting x squared is x times x. So you know the first term of each binomial. This next part is what follows it. What are we going to add or subtract to each of those x's in the binomials? That's where we have to focus on these two numbers, the positive 18 and the positive 45. We need to think of what two numbers give you a product of 45, and those same two numbers need to give you a sum of a positive 18. So we can go through our list. We're like, all right, I'm going to be, 1 times 45. That gives you a sum or a product of 45, but it doesn't give you a sum of 18, so those don't work. Okay. What else? 5 times 9. Yeah, 5 times 9 is 45, but guess what? It's not 18. They don't add up to 18. And finally, you get to 3 times 15. And guess what? 3 plus 15 also equals 18. So those are your winners. When I mean winners, those are the two numbers that you would put in the second spot, would become the second term of each binomial. So our completed factorization would be x plus 3, x plus 15. And by the way, you can always check it, because if you FOIL these, it should produce what we started with. Second problem, same thing. We know we're going to factor this down. We know right away x times x is the only way we're getting x squared. Alright? So then we have to think, remember there's a coefficient of 1 here, and it's a negative 12 here. So we're kind of trying to come up with two numbers that give you a product of negative 12 and a sum of a negative 1. So again, you can go through your list. Well, negative 2 times 6. Well, negative 2 plus 6 doesn't add up to negative 1, so that doesn't work. What about 4 times negative 3? Getting closer. 4 times negative 3 does give you a negative 12, but when we add them together, it gives you a positive 1. So if we just switch those, a negative 4 times a 3 together, those do give us a negative 12 still as a product. And when we add those together, we're having our chicken dinner. So the negative 4 and the positive 3 end up in here. Final instructions. Okay. I'm going to give you 2 problems to answer. I want you to submit them to the Google form that is underneath this video. Okay, submit them there by tomorrow in class. And then also I'll have attached to underneath the Google form, I will put our worksheet. First time trying to put a worksheet online. It's just 4 more problems of factoring. Okay. Bust those out. Bring them to class tomorrow. Prepare to discuss them. And again, enjoy the day. Here are your problems to try. X squared minus 4x minus 21 is your first problem to try. X squared plus 13x plus 40 is your second problem to try. Submit those 2 answers on the Google form below this video. Peace out.